modern fantasy, and it's got tons of pop culture nerdy references, as well as all the old fantasy references with a modern take. So definitely could recommend Jim Butcher. And I have read Jane Eyre about 1 million times, so that's a favorite novel. But it's got nothing to do with what I can write. It's not.
I love that. I love that. That was a good movie too. You can always get to know if you watch a movie.
Oh yeah.
I think for younger people. Now, what do you think this book is for? What age group would you say?
I'd say anybody between probably 14 and 35 would enjoy it, so I guess that counts as young adult.
Yeah, I would say.
Yeah, young adult. I'm almost 30, and I started writing it about 4 years ago, so 20s is the characters are in their 20s, and it does contain profanity, so you don't want little kids reading it.
Right,
know?
Right.
So.
Now, are your characters going to evolve?
Absolutely. And there's more fun stuff happening in the next book. Everybody's being carried over. Everybody that's not dead, obviously. But yeah, everybody, I'm trying to give more insight into the main characters and their past, more insight into the parents and the detective and the whole...
The background.
The situation of the whole country, because I aimed to have the setting be near future.
Okay.
Like when my little ones are grown up, that's what it would be. So about 20 years in the future.
Like genetic.
Yeah, 15, 20 years from now is about when this is set. So it's close enough that pretty much almost everything's the same with technology.
Well, everything's getting cloned now. They have 3D projections that can clone ears and bodies. And it's
3D
just,
ears.
I know, it's scary, isn't it? But I found it very interesting. And I think that I can't write, but I do enjoy reading people that can write. Unfortunately, I'm not one of them. But the more I learn from writers, the more interesting it is, especially now that I kind of base that character. I was thinking of Myra, and I knew when I met you that you were similar to her. I don't know
Miara.
Miara.
Sorry.
I mispronounced it, sorry.
That's all right. It's meant to sound kind of like a cat's meow because she looks like a cat and her parents are obsessed with cats. That's why they
cloned her. I see.
The name, Miara.
So I could tell that, you had taken some of your character from that.
I'm a crazy cat lady.
But just like J.K. Rowling's, though, it took her, I don't know how long to get published. So for all you kids out there, just hopefully stay with it and something will happen good. But you have to be proactive, correct?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Like I said, I did this, published through CreateSpace, so it's self-publishing, but at the same time, you can't just publish it and let it sit there and pray that you sell stuff. I have a Facebook page, I have an active blog, I'm tweeting on Twitter for it. I've contacted all the local media. I have a special display set up at Wild Sage in downtown Pittsfield. I've also, obviously I'm doing this. I do some craft fairs sometimes, and I've also set up my books there, so if anybody wants to come to find me at a craft fair.
You brought it to the library also, right?
Yep, it's at the Dalton Public Library, so it will soon be in circulation for all the local libraries here. As soon as they get it in circulation, anyway. Yep.
So it sounds like you really have done a lot of proactive things.
Oh yeah, I printed out my own bookmarks and have brought those to shops, and it's a lot of work. You have to contact all the local media, and
well, you have to love it. You
have to love your work at least. You
and at least believe in it.
Oh, absolutely, believe in it. Believe in what you do. Believe in.
But promoting is the key for anything. Now, did you take writing classes when you were in school? A
couple, but I got my degree in English, so you have to write a lot when you're taking,
Yeah.
6 English classes a year. You do a lot of writing. And I did a lot of history classes too, so you're constantly writing papers. So
Yeah.
I honed my skills like that, but the writing novella or novel skills is just from reading a lot. I took a few creative writing courses, but it doesn't help you as much as being an avid reader does.
Yeah. Well, in school, you also have to do certain papers, don't you, when you're writing?
Well,
Did
yeah.
you do some basic, like...
I took a creative writing course my senior year of college that I think the main project was, he just said, write a story. 5 to 25 pages, write a story, and then everybody trades it and critiques it, and we edit, proofread, critique, and tell you how you can make it better, and just keep working at it, and God knows your senior thesis takes forever. That's 10 different drafts, plus research. You have to know how to do research. I actually ended up doing research for a mystery novel, so it comes into my head, and the great ideas come into your head, but if you want it to be believable to the readers, you have to have at least some accurate descriptions. If you're doing sci-fi or fantasy, you have some leeway with that because you can invent the stuff yourself, but if you're talking about actual landmarks or real places,
historic things.
or people, you really want to describe them as accurately as possible.
Well, that's a lot of research then.
Oh yeah, the fantasy book I'm writing right now I'm constantly, Googling what weapons look like, how you hold a certain thing. I've got some contacts in the SEA, so I'll ask them, how do you hold this sword, or
So how did you arrive at that concept? I'm just curious.
Which one, fantasy?
No.
This one.
Yeah.
I was taking a walk down the road in California with my daughter when she was a baby, and I just popped into my head the first line of let me see. I was born a cat person. That's right, a cat girl. No, I'm not kidding. Unfortunately.
And that's what
That popped into my head, and from there I was like, I could have worked with this. That would be really neat.
Well, I'll tell you, I agree with you. I enjoyed it. It was pretty good, pretty interesting, and I think it's difficult to try and write for someone. I really do. You have to have a strong back because there's so many rejections as you go. I know my father had written like 3 different books.
Oh, really?
And he sent to everywhere. I still have them everywhere. And no.
Yeah.
But now they've got Amazon. Like you said, there's so many different places that writers can go. Makes a big difference.
Oh, yeah.
So you actually can. Because I think some good books never do get published. And that's a sad
Probably.
thing. They just sit there.
Somebody
Well, it took
gives up.
forever, like I said, for The Help, which I thought was excellent, for her to get published.
Yeah, the
And she had to
traditional
do it
ways.
herself.
The traditional way of publishing is very, very difficult. You either have to already be famous and well-known, or just be the most fantastic,
Or tenacious.
amazing writer on the face of the planet.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm not good, but I don't know if I'm the most fantastic. I'm not George R. R. Martin.
Yeah.
Yet, yeah.
What it says, when I was reading some of the tips on writing, it says you as you go, you become a better wrter.
Oh, absolutely.
And as you write.
The more writing you do, the better you get at it. You got to stick with it. I know a lot of people that say, "Oh, I want to be a writer. I want to get this story out," and they start and they get active, and they get all excited, and they start thinking, "Oh, what am I going to do when this is out? What am I going to? Where am I going to sell this? How famous am I going to be?" And then they give up after like 2 chapters.
Yeah.
So there's so many people that do that. So you have to, if you want to do it, stick with it. You know, if you, with any career, basically, if you want to be an actor, go be an actor. If you want to be a writer, go be a writer. You just keep writing.
So is this the first attempt for you at a novel?
Yes, this is definitely the first novel. Hopefully it's pretty good. You know, I had it proofread and I've had it edited and everything. It's not like I wrote one draft and sent it to Amazon.
Right.
I worked hard on this. You know, you have to give it some work. So, you don't want to. I don't want to say just go self-publish. You got to work on it and make sure it's really good. Make sure it's worth being published.
So do you think people should send them out at least once or twice before they self-publish?
Try to send it to an agent. Try to send it. You know, a lot of agents will only accept a query letter, so you have to write a really well done query letter first and get that out. And after you've had 50, 60 rejections, then you can start thinking about self-publishing,
So you think that that's the best way to go, though, at least?
Definitely, because you want to try. You got to give it a shot. You can't just say, I'm just going to write this and self-publish. Say, no, I'm going to write this and I want people to like it. And I know it's worth being out there.
So do they give you suggestions when they send back your novel?
Occasionally. Usually you're only sending out a query, honestly. I think I only had 1 or 2 agents ask for sample chapters. And then if you don't hear back from them, it's a rejection. That's pretty much it.
Wow.
Yeah, there's a lot of people you just don't hear back. That's it.
Well, we have 1 second or a minute left, so if there's anything you would like to tell writers, what would it be?
Oh, keep at it.
Just keep trying?
Yeah, just keep trying. You can do it. Definitely.
Very good.
Keep reading.
And her book is Fuzzy Business, and you can buy it on Amazon.
Yep, you can get it on Amazon.com or createspace.com. You can also go to my official blog, which is ameliaritner.wordpress.com. Or you could find me on Facebook. I have a Facebook fan page where the links for the book are there. And I'm totally up for talking to anybody or doing book signings or any other interviews.
Very good. And we thank you very much. I want to thank today's guest, Amelia Ritner. And I'll see you around town.